In the peaceful town of Enugu, nestled in the eastern part of Nigeria, lived a stunning woman named Vanessa. With her caramel skin that shimmered under the sunlight, a body sculpted like fine art, and a voice as soft as velvet, Vanessa turned heads wherever she went. At 35, she was married to a successful businessman named Desmond. Their home was a magnificent mansion that sat atop a quiet hill, complete with a swimming pool, lavish furnishings, and a life that many envied. But within this luxurious shell was a secreted deep, shameful truth that threatened to destroy everything. Vanessa had everything she ever dreamed of, yet she harbored a weakness that tormented her, an uncontrollable urge to sleep with any man who showed her the slightest interest. It started like a joke casual flirtation here and there, but it quickly evolved into something she couldn't control. Her desires ruled her, overpowering her conscience. Even Vanessa herself couldn't understand what was happening to her. At first, it began with a friend of Desmond's who always visited for business meetings. He would arrive, discuss contracts, and leave with more than just agreements signed. Then came another friend, and another. She wasn't proud of what she did, but it was as if her body had a mind of its own. The most painful part? She felt shame, but not enough to stop. Desmond was a hard-working man, constantly traveling between Abuja, Lagos, and even Port Harcourt. He trusted his wife deeply, or perhaps he was just too busy to notice. But as rumors began to circulate, people started to look at him with pity and mockery. "You mean he doesn't know?" they whispered. Things came to a breaking point one night, when Desmond returned from a week-long trip, only to hear footsteps sneaking down the hallway. It was his younger brother Nonso, who had come to stay a few days. "What are you doing out of the guest room this late?" Desmond asked. Nonso stammered. I was thirsty." Desmond's eyes scanned him from head to toe. His shirt was half-buttoned, his belt undone. A wave of dread washed over Desmond as he turned and walked toward the guest room. He pushed open the door to find the bedsheets ruffled, the perfume in the air unmistakably Vanessa's airs. When he confronted her, Vanessa didn't even try to deny it. Her eyes were filled with tears, but not of guilt-off helplessness. "I don't know why I do it," she cried. "It's like something controls me." Desmond was devastated. He packed her bags that night and told her to leave. "You're not the woman I married. I don't even know who you are anymore." Vanessa returned to her family home. Her parents, Mr. and Mrs. Okoye, were respected members of the community. Her father was a retired principal. Her mother, a quiet but devout Christian woman. The shame her return brought was overwhelming. "What will people say?" her father asked, pacing the living room. "Let them say what they want," her mother replied. "This is deeper than embarrassment. This is spiritual." They began to search for answers. From fiery pastors to gentle prophets, from fasting mountains to herbalists in remote villages, everywhere they went, the story was the same. After listening to Vanessa's strange condition, each person would ask the same haunting question. Did she ever offend an old woman in her youth? At first, Vanessa brushed it off. She couldn't remember any such incident. But as the question repeated from place to place, her mind began to dig deeper into her past. Then one night, as she sat alone on the balcony of her father's house, the memory came flooding back. She was in SS2, just 17 years old. Beautiful, confident, and arrogant. On her way home from school one afternoon, she walked past an elderly woman selling bananas under a tree. The woman was poor, her clothes tattered, and her hair messy. That day, Vanessa was with a group of classmates' boys, mostly trying to impress them with her quick tongue. "I heard this woman used to be a prostitute," one of the boys whispered. Vanessa laughed loudly. "No wonder she likes staying by the roadside. Old mama, you dey fine man even now?" The elderly woman looked at her with calm, piercing eyes. "You don't know me, yet you speak like you've lived my life. Because you used a lie to mock me, may that lie follow you. May every man you meet see you only for one thing. You will sleep with any man that comes your way, and they will call you sweet in the middle." The other students had laughed and clapped to the comeback. Vanessa had walked away feeling proud. But now, in the silence of the night, she realized that her life had followed that curse word for word. Everywhere she went, that nickname haunted her. sometimes whispered, sometimes shouted in jest, sweet in the middle. She thought it was just people being cruel, but now she knew it was much deeper. "We have to find that woman," she told her parents the next morning. "I need to beg her." They started the search. They visited her former school, asked old teachers, searched through towns, from Suka to Augu to villages as far as Udi and Guo. Many had heard of the woman, but didn't know where she had gone. Finally, a fruit seller in Nuguo pointed them to a small compound in a quiet corner of the village. "She lives there now," the woman said. "She barely speaks to anyone." They found her sitting outside, her hair white as snow, her back bent with age, but her eyes still sharp and clear. When Vanessa saw her, she broke down immediately. "Mama, I'm sorry. I was young. I was foolish. I heard gossip and used it to insult you. I didn't know it would cost me everything. Please, forgive me." The old woman looked at her for a long time. Then she spoke. "You were the loudest that day, but you were also the youngest. I knew life would teach you." She brought out a calabash filled with water, whispered over it, then dipped a small branch into it. "Let the curse end where it began," she said, sprinkling water on Vanessa's head. "Let your name change and let your body be your own again. From today, you are free." Vanessa felt something lift off her chest. For the first time in years, she slept without dreams filled with shame or desire. But freedom didn't come easy. People still remembered. Some still mocked her. But she held her head high, determined to start over. Desmond, who had heard of her journey and the old woman's forgiveness, agreed to meet her one evening. She told him everything, from her teenage mockery to the curse, to the search, and the final release. She cried through the story. Desmond listened silently. "You look different," he said finally. "You seem lighter." "I feel lighter," she whispered. "I need time," he said. And he took his time, but slowly he began to let her back in. First, a phone call, then a lunch. Then he visited her family home. Eventually, they moved in together again, taking each day one step at a time. Vanessa didn't keep her story a secret. She began to share it at churches, youth groups, and women's fellowships. She warned girls about the danger of gossip and mocking others. She taught them that life has ears, and the words we speak can return to us with power. Years later, Vanessa stood at a women's conference in Owerri, holding a microphone. "My name is Vanessa," she said. "Once they called me sweet in the middle, but now I am called forgiven, and if grace could reach me, it can reach anyone." The crowd clapped. Tears flowed. Women stood, moved by her honesty. Vanessa smiled, not with pride, but with peace, because she had learned that when life happens, and we humble ourselves, healing always follows. The lesson in this story is that life has a mysterious way of teaching us lessons we didn't know we needed. And sometimes, the careless words we speak in our youth, especially when fueled by pride, peer pressure, or gossip, can plant seeds of destruction that bloom later in painful, unexpected ways. But even when life turns upside down, and everything we once held dear begins to fall apart, there is still a path to redemption, healing, and restoration if we are willing to trace our steps back, confront our past with honesty, humble ourselves before those we have wronged, and seek forgiveness, because life happens, and in its unfolding, we often learn that grace begins where pride ends. Thank you so much for watching. If this story touched your heart or taught you a lesson, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more powerful stories. Until next time, remember, life happens, but every story has a purpose. Stay blessed.